Hey, so we finally got this game up and running. It's Alice's Warped Wonderland. Warning, this game contains depictions of fear and extreme horror. Okay, thanks. Didn't need to know that. Her. Alice. Our Alice. Your arms, your legs, your head, your voice. Please give them to us. I've already played this, but still it's like dark and eerie. If this world exists only to hurt you, throw it away. A body torn to pieces sleeps quietly wrapped in a blanket of badness. Now, a nightmare from which you will never awaken begins. Oh my god, this is awesome, I swear. If this isn't, this is recording. Okay, good. It's only 7, thankfully. Forever after school. It's you think it's like live happily ever after or something, but it's not. After waking up from a dream, the line between dreams and reality is blurred. And even if you've been awake for a while, what is a dream and what is reality may not be obvious. Huh? What is this? I stared blankly at the figure before me. Sharp, yellow teeth lined the inside of the mouth, shaped like a crooked crescent moon. What is wrong with the Cheshire Cat? Why doesn't he clean his teeth? Oh my god. What is wrong with him? Ugh. What a big mouth you have, like the wolf that ate Little Red Riding Hood. But he's not a wolf, he's a cat. It's like, seriously? Good morning, Alice, spoke the mouth. ... Wait, a mouth? Ah! I snapped to attention. Who are you? I was so startled that I nearly fell out of my chair. The figure was leaning over its arms and legs and had perched itself on top of the desk in the study room. Why is someone on the top of the desk? Never mind that. Who is this person? This school is off limits to non-students and non-faculty members. At least it's supposed to be. The suspicious figure's face was hidden beneath the hood of its cloak. All I could see was its grinning mouth. There are no school or sports festivals today, so there's no reason for such a strange person to be here. I slowly stood up from my chair and backed away. Why is no one... Huh? It was then that I realized nobody else was around. I was alone with this strange hooded figure. Huh? Where is Yukino? That's right. I came here with my friend Yukino to study, didn't I? Still half asleep, my memory was hazy as I tried to remember what had happened. Then I accidentally fell asleep. Yukino is not here. Oh my god, said the hooded figure still perched atop the desk. Such a deep voice. Is it a man? But its slender chin looks rather feminine. I wonder if she went home without me. Sunlight leaked through the window, painting the room a dark shade of red. The sun will set soon. Yukino is not here. The hooded figure repeated himself, as if responding to my muttering. Well then I'm going to go home too. Heh. I slowly backed away, keeping my gaze fixed on the figure perched atop the desk. My movement stiff, I gradually made my way to the door. I need to tell the teacher. There's a weird person here. I touched the door handle and was about to walk out of the study, but against my better judgment, I glanced behind me. Ah! What? I loudly slammed my back against the door. The figure was right behind me, practically nestled up against me. What? Too close. He's too close. Yeah, these people don't understand when they're being too weird. Like, there are these other people that were, like, on top of her trying to eat her. This actually happened. They're like, come on, just give us your arm already. We're hungry. We heard Alice tastes good. When did he sneak up on me? I didn't hear him make a sound. My body dragged against the door as I slid down to the floor. The figure looked down at me with a satisfied grin on his face. Can I help you with something? Who are you? I am the Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat? You're not from around here, are you? Now, Alice, let's chase after the white rabbit. What? Rabbit? Huh? What's this about a rabbit? Are you looking for a rabbit? That's fine and all, but I wish he wouldn't stand so close to me. That thought entered my head as I sat there, my back still pressed against the door. I'm not looking for it. You're going to chase after it, Alice. Who is Alice? You. No, I'm not. I'm not Alice. I shook my head violently. Oh, so that's it. You're just mistaking me for someone else. I breathed a sigh of relief. Of course I wouldn't know what he's talking about. It all makes sense now. I'm not mistaken. We wouldn't mistake Alice for anyone. But I'm not Alice. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. I'm telling you. My name is Ariko Katsuragi. ... I mean, my name might sound like Alice, but I'm a native Japanese, and my English is pretty bad, so, that means... I felt a surge of determination. I'm not Alice. ... Cheshire Cat paused, then nodded his head. All right, Alice, let's chase after the white rabbit. My words, they aren't getting through to him at all. Why did I even bother explaining? Speechless, I looked up at the figure. I couldn't see anything inside his hood, except darkness, a gloomy, oppressive darkness. It looked like it would swallow me whole. A shiver ran up my body. Suddenly the darkness came closer. The figure held out his hand. Without thinking, I opened the door and ran away. I opened the door and ran out of the study room. What? But as soon as I ran out the door, my feet came to a stop. The hallway had no end. It stretched on and on until it became a hazy blur. What is this? When did the hallway become like this? How is this even possible? At first I thought rubbing my eyes would make it go away, but there was no change in the sight I beheld. ... As I started to feel dizzy. Anyway, I need to get downstairs. That was my initial thought, but I quickly discovered that the stairs had vanished too. They should have been right next to the study room, but I only saw a white wall. ... I just stood there dumbfounded. What could this possibly mean? The situation was so strange, I blurted that question aloud in spite of myself. Is something wrong, Alice? I heard the Cheshire Cat's voice behind me. For a moment, I hesitated. Then I decided to act. Nothing is wrong. Oh, God. She's getting, like, all offensive and stuff. I shouted without turning around, then broke into a fierce run down the hallway. A strange figure or a strange hallway. Which is better? There was no way of knowing, but I chose the hallway. Wow. You really don't like him, do you? I read and read and read and read. Then I came to a stop. Ha ha ha. Running is not my strong suit. Why do I have to run as fast as I can inside the school? I placed my arms on my knees and took some rough breaths. After taking a deep breath, I looked behind me. The study room door seemed very small now. Just past the door, a gray silhouette stood inside the study room. If it was the strange figure I rejected, he didn't chase after me. He just stood there. It would be scary if he came after me, but it's also scary that he didn't. When I looked ahead, I still couldn't see the end of the hallway. Did I make the wrong choice? That question arose in my head, but I ignored it now and continued to run forward. I understand this. I trudged through the hallway. I couldn't bring myself to return to the study room. Even if I went back, there was no escape. So if I can't go back, I must move forward. The long hallway was dead quiet. I shouted out loud a few times, but there was no response. It seems like there really is no one here. Why? I wonder where everyone could have gone. There was a window on the side of the hallway. From the window I could see the front courtyard. Everything outside was tinted red from the sunset. But there was no one out there either. No cars, no bicyclists, not a single sound. What could have happened? An orderly row of classrooms were to my left. The plates that should display the classroom numbers were blank. Though this should be a familiar environment, there was something cold and distant about it. What should I do? Isn't anyone here? Also, as if praying, I walked by each classroom and peered inside. Oh God. After opening yet another door, my feet came to a halt. A strange figure stood in the middle of the classroom. Good, there's someone here. Excuse me. I was about to run over to him, but suddenly caught myself. What is that? At first glance at his slacks and white button-up shirt made him look like a businessman. But then I saw something no normal businessman would have. No, it was something that no normal person would have. From his head jutted two white ears, as if they were reaching for the sky. A rabbit costume. But it looks too real to be a costume. And that's not all. I could see through him and make out the scenery behind him. He's transparent. Excuse me. I carefully stepped into his view. My breath left me. His face and arms were covered in fluffy white fur. A red nose protruded from his face. This is definitely not a costume. But his right hand was the most shocking thing about him. The fur on the rabbit's hand was drenched with thick, sticky blood. Why does he have blood on him? I would tell you what that really is, but that'd be like a spoiler, so. But I already know what it is. Is that the rabbit's blood, or does it belong to someone else? The white rabbit held a doll against his wet red chest. The doll was the size of a baby, but it had no arms, legs, or even a head. The rabbit cradled the plump, childlike body, as though it were very important to him. And then I heard a soothing lullaby. Arms, 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 where could your arms be? If you don't have your arms, you can't pet me. A drop of blood ran down the rabbit's hand, sliding along the doll's belly before it plopped onto the floor. Fresh blood, as if it just recently killed someone. It's not enough. The rabbit's voice made my body twitch. His eyes were still fixed on the doll in his arms. He was ignoring my presence, No, maybe he hadn't even noticed me yet. No, no, it's not enough. I must hurry. With that, the white rabbit aimlessly walked to the door in front of him. His incorporeal body effortlessly passed through the desk. Just before the rabbit went through the closed door, his muttering reached my ears. Alice. Oh, so he actually did notice him. I mean, he actually noticed her. He is just ignoring her. The white rabbit is so rude. Why is he ignoring Alice? Finally, the rabbit disappeared through the passed through the classroom door and disappeared. What was that just now? I stood in place dumbfounded. A rabbit ghost? Or was it just a hallucination? So many curious things have been happening. I'm not sure how to react. This isn't a dream, is it? There was a small pool of blood where the white figure had been standing. Red proof that this was an illusion. Droplets of blood that had pooled on the ground had oozed their way to the door. When I opened the door, the trail of blood continued down the hallway. I stared intently down the hallway. Just like before, there was no end in sight. As if being invited by the red trail, I continued to walk the hallway. How far have I been walking? I finally reached the end. Just when I started to feel bored by the hallway, then scared. Oh, what? My feeling of relief quickly gave way to disappointment. As if I got closer, it became more obvious that it was just a wall. A dead end. Would I have walked this far? I grew more discouraged as I approached the wall, that when I noticed a tiny door. What? Oh wow, what a small door. It has to be 8 inches tall, if that. For such a small door, it even had details like doorknobs. It's so cute. It's a mini door. But what's this door even doing here? I grabbed the doorknob and twisted it, and the door opened easily enough. When I lowered my head to peer through the door, I saw a hallway much like the one I was in. But there was one key difference. A staircase. If I could get to the other side of this door, I could go down those stairs. And then maybe I could get outside. The other side of this door. My happiness quickly deflated. How can I even fit through such a tiny door? I stood, dusting off my school uniform. Well, this is a problem. I guess I have no choice but to use the curtains to climb down the balcony. I'm not exactly afraid of heights, but I'm not very athletic. If I fall from the 4th floor, will I die? With those thoughts on my mind, I opened the door to the nearest classroom. My feet stopped at the entrance. The classroom was different from the others. A colorful paper chain and paper flowers decorated the classroom. The student desks and chairs were pushed to the back, leaving an open space in front of the classroom. It was like a birthday or a going-away party in an elementary school. But instead of a lively atmosphere, the classroom was silent. There were various drawings on the blackboard, and in the corner in wet red letters, "Welcome home, our Alice," was written. It looked fresh, as if it was written just recently. Alice. I murmured the name as I stared at the blackboard. I had heard this name a lot today. In front of the blackboard on top of the teacher's podium was a rather large basket. Upon closer inspection, a slip of paper lay on top of the basket. "Eat me." Oh, God, was written on it. What could it be? I wonder if there is food inside. I casually opened the basket. What? Inside there was a white arm severed at the elbow. I know a lot. I shouldn't spoil this. I ran as fast as I could to the hallway. I only stopped running once I ran out of breath. My legs began to shake as soon as I stopped, and I sank to the floor. What was that just now? It looked like someone's, no, a child's arm. That red stuff where it was cut. Was that blood? A wave of nausea suddenly hit me, and I covered my mouth. No, it can't be. No running in the hallway, Alice. Wait, no running in the hallway, Alice. I panicked and looked behind me. But there was no one there. Over here. The voice came from above. I looked up and saw someone crouched on the top of the cupboard. It was the hooded figure I encountered in the study room. I believe he called himself the Cheshire Cat. What a strange person. I looked up at the man, dumbfounded. There wasn't a whole lot of space between the cupboard and the ceiling, yet somehow this person had compressed himself to fill that space. What are you doing in a place like that? It was so bizarre, I could feel my composure weakening. And then the man jumped down, still grinning without making a sound. What is the matter, Alice? Are you hungry? I'm not hungry. There was a severed arm over there. What should I do? Oh yes, I need to call the police. While I sat on the ground in a panic, the person across from me seemed unfazed by all this. He just silently looked down at me, grinning. ... I swallowed my saliva in one loud gulp. Try talking. Calm down. Right now, I should just try to talk to him. That's right. Communication is the key to understanding. What? Excuse me. Were you listening to what I was saying? Of course. No matter where I am, Alice, I can hear your voice. What? ... That's creepy. What should I do now that... You should chase after the white rabbit. Oh my god. Rabbit? Why is he mentioning a rabbit now? Come, let's go. What are you talking about? This is no time to be talking about a rabbit. The Cheshire Cat's expression didn't change. He kept on grinning. I started to get worried and began asking questions in a rapid succession. Hey, why is no one else around? Did something happen? Do you know what's going on? But that grinning mouth provided no answers. My wariness began to turn into annoyance. Why is the hallway so long? Why is the door so small? How is anyone supposed to get through that thing? At this point, I was mostly just venting. But it was to my surprise the Cheshire Cat responded to my last question. So, you wish to pass through the small door. He nodded with approval. Huh? No, it's not that. I just want to go home. Come. The Cheshire Cat cut me off mid-sentence and walked away as if he were sliding along the floor. What? Wait a second, please. Hey! Wow. In the end, I followed him because I was too scared of being left behind. But was this the right decision? I stared at the gray back walking in front of me. He's definitely weird. It's suspicious enough that he refers to himself as the Cheshire Cat, and his appearance just makes him even more suspicious. Outside of movies and manga, I've never seen anyone wear a robe like this. Is it really okay for me to follow him? I suddenly felt uneasy. Staying quiet was only making my unease worse, so I decided to talk to the Cheshire Cat. Mr. Cheshire Cat? Yes, Alice. Yes, Alice. Just try the deepest voice I can. She said he had a deep voice. Cheshire Cat replied, his back still facing me. Why are you always smiling? Well, Alice, all the better not to frighten you. I spoke to him again. Mr. Cheshire Cat? Yes, Alice. The Cheshire Cat replied, his back still to me. Why do you always walk so quietly? Well, Alice, all the better to hear your beating heart. What? I spoke to him again. Mr. Cheshire Cat? Yes, Alice. Cheshire Cat replied, his back still facing me. Why do you have such a large mouth? Well, Alice. All the better to eat you with. Oh, oh God. No wonder she was comparing a cat. No wonder she's comparing the big bad wolf and the Cheshire Cat. Oh my God. This was expected. I bumped into the Cheshire Cat's back and came to a stop. Oops, my bad. I was imagining strange things. I'm sorry. I apologize. Komendosai. I apologized as I raised my head. I realized we were in front of the decorated classroom. That child's arm I threw is most likely still inside. Panicking, I grabbed the Cheshire Cat by his clothes as he tried to enter. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't go in there because there's an arm. It's okay, Alice. The Cheshire Cat calmly replied, I'm not Alice. I told you that. The Cheshire Cat brushed off my attempts to hold him back and slipped inside the classroom. I turned away from the entrance. I can't. I really can't. I don't want to look at it ever again. That thing, just remembering it, is making me nauseous. I would rather see anything else than see that arm again. So why does it have to be right in front of me? Oh, God. My attempt to run away failed almost immediately. Before I knew it, the Cheshire Cat had already grabbed me by the arm. He wants to make a new arm! Alice. No, don't bring it so close. A wave of nausea hit me, and I fell to my knees. I desperately tried to hold back my vomit. My eyes blurred with tears. Oh no, I might throw up. But as I thought that, I felt a hand lightly touch my back. I couldn't see whose, but I'm pretty sure it was the Cheshire Cat's. It was a warm hand, brimming with heat. Right then and there, my nausea vanished. What? What was that just now? It's okay, Alice, came the Cheshire Cat's voice from above me. It's not okay. Don't get that thing anywhere near me. I screamed as I remained crouched and tried not to look at it. Eat. Huh? Those sudden words made me lift my head in spite of myself. The man in the gray hood grinned as he held a severed white arm. Red liquid dripped from the wound. I became dizzy. Did you just tell me to eat that thing? Eat. All the blood on my face drained away. Naturally, I started to feel lightheaded. This is just weird. This person is definitely weird. What's this called again? There's a word, cannibalism? No, I don't have a taste for human flesh. I don't. Definitely not. I need to run away. But my legs just trembled weakly beneath me. I abruptly fell to the floor. Come on now. The Cheshire Cat bent over and held out the white arm. Stop! Help someone! I struggled in vain. The Cheshire Cat gently held me down. It's delicious. No, let me go! I turned my head away in desperation and started slapping the Cheshire Cat with my free hand as hard as I could. What are you thinking? I can't eat an arm, especially not a child's. Who could do such a terrible thing? It's not human flesh, said the Cheshire Cat as I slapped his face. Huh? Without thinking, I steadied my head and looked at the Cheshire Cat. It's a bread arm. Bread? You mean like the kind of bread you eat? Cheshire Cat grinned and held up. Study it carefully. I looked down at the arm in fear. A puffy arm. There was wrinkles on the joints and lines and palms. Even the fingertips had nails. It is a real arm. There's no way you could bake bread to look this real. I started to hit the Cheshire Cat again. There's blood, too. The Cheshire Cat rode into the arm, showing me that it was where it was severed just below the elbow. No, that's enough. Don't show me. I closed my eyes and looked away. ... That smell. It smells like bread. I opened one eye in response to the spicy savor. The white arm dangled near my face. It severed and brushing against the tip of my nose. I was about to slap it away, but then I noticed something. Huh? That's weird. There's no bone. There's no bone to be seen inside the arm's severed end. In its place, the arm was stuffed with a thick red substance. Small black grains were mixed in that shiny red liquid. This isn't blood, it's jam? Strawberry jam? Yes, it's strawberry jam bread for one of the little strawberry jam boys. Kawaii. No, seriously though, they are adorable. I swear. But they're gonna force you to eat them or something. That's a thing. Calmly and carefully I studied the arm. It was indeed bread. On the surface it looked just like a human arm, but inside it was filled with air bubbles. It's really bread. Yes, it's bread. It's baked very well. If bread sculptures were a thing, this could probably go in a bread museum, though that would be in poor taste. Eat. No, not even if it's just bread. I still don't want to eat that thing. Besides, I'm not even hungry. ... The Cheshire Cat remained quiet, and then he ripped a hunk of bread from the arm. Even though I knew it was bread, the sight still made me shiver. The Cheshire Cat grinned as he held out the hunk of bread. He's always grinning anyway. What happened next was too fast for me to even register. Initially, I didn't even know what happened. Something was shoved into my mouth. In a split second, the Cheshire Cat had covered my mouth and nose with his hand. I can't breathe. I struggled as hard as I could, but the Cheshire Cat's head wouldn't budge. For someone so skinny, he's incredibly strong. It hurts. Is this person trying to kill me? Since I was too delirious to breathe. Blech. I swallowed it. Once he was sure I had swallowed it, Cheshire Cat finally removed his hand. Wasn't that tasty? It doesn't matter if it was tasty or not. It could have been a custard-filled sweet bun, and it still wouldn't matter. And it also doesn't matter that strawberry jam had just the right amount of sweetness and tartness. I told you I didn't want to eat it. As I began to protest, I started to feel dizzy. The world began to wobble, and I was overcome with vertigo. As if the scenery and the Cheshire Cat himself became mushy and warped. He smiled, his face grew larger and larger, until it started to cover the world. See? This is what I get for eating a weird piece of bread that looks like human flesh. Suddenly, the world turned dark. ... At first, I thought I lost consciousness. But I was awake and my eyes were open. The world didn't turn dark because I lost consciousness. I was actually covered by a large piece of fabric. What is this? Is this a bed sheet or something? Why would this suddenly fall from the sky? I struggled to lift my head out of the mysterious fabric. However, it seemed oddly bigger than I had guessed. I couldn't move it off me. The fabric is strangely thick and heavy. Cheshire Cat, are you there? I called out in a random direction. What is it, Alice? His reply was surprisingly close, but I was still relieved. He's such a suspicious character, but it beats being completely alone. Hey, so this fabric, what's the deal? What happened, Alice? The Cheshire Cat's relaxed voice came through the fabric. Why? Why am I... I was definitely wearing my school uniform just a minute ago, wasn't I? I don't remember taking it off or having it taken off of me. As I panicked, the fabric above me began to ripple and sway. My visibility suddenly returned to me. Cheshire Cat's giant, grinning face loomed before my eyes. I had screamed many times already, and this time was no different. I crouched down and wrapped my arms around myself. Cheshire Cat, turn around. Why? It doesn't matter, just turn around. After I yelled at him, the Cheshire Cat turned around. Close your eyes, too. You can't look until I say so, okay? As you wish, Our Alice. He responded in a carefree tone. I dove back into the fabric. Why did this happen? Clothes, where are my clothes? And why are you so big? I'm not big. You're small, Alice. Me? Small? What do you mean? You become small. What does... Alice, speak slowly. The truth will not run away. What's that supposed to mean? But there is some truth to those words. That's right, I need to calm down. I learned in disaster drills in elementary school that you must remain calm in emergency situations. Wait, disaster drills? I've never heard of that drill before. I've heard of fire drills. I've heard of tornado drills. I've heard of lockdown drills. I have not heard of emergency drills, or whatever it was called. I took several deep breaths, calmed down, and think. I've become small. What does that mean? In a literal sense, it means I've shrunk down. I looked up at the fabric around me. Could this be my school uniform? Now that I think about it, this charcoal color does look familiar. Because I shrunk, my clothes slipped off. Oh, God. And now that I'm small, the Cheshire Cat and the rest of the world look enormous. Yeah, so I think she covers herself with like a scarf or something. Why? Why did I shrink? Human beings don't just shrink. Yes, they do, Alice. They do indeed shrink. The Cheshire Cat nonchalantly dismissed my 16 years' worth of conventional wisdom. Really? Is that true? Is that how it is? Anyone can shrink if they eat strawberry jam bread. You mean that bread arm from just a moment ago? Yes, indeed. Why did I shrink when I ate the bread? Because that's what it's supposed to do, Alice. At this point, I wasn't sure how to refute that. Achoo! The skin was covered in goosebumps. I forgot. Come to think of it, I'm cold. I need to take care of this problem first. What should I do? Is there something I can use? I rummaged through my crumpled clothes. The scarf of my school uniform caught my eye. It seemed like the perfect size. I glanced back at the Cheshire Cat, who was still turned around like he was supposed to be. I quickly moved to remove the scarf from my school uniform and wrapped it around myself. In my current condition, the scarf was about the size of a larger-than-average bath towel. I suppose this will have to do for now. I took a deep sigh to steady my arms and surveyed my surroundings. The ceiling was absurdly high, like a church cathedral's. Everything around me was too big to fit in my field of vision. I wish it weren't true, but unfortunately, it seems I really have shrunk. Why does this have to happen to me? A long, exasperated sigh left my lips. The hallway stretched out. I found a rabbit person. A strange person forced me to eat part of a severed arm made of bread and shrink. And on top of that, I'm also completely naked. At the moment, I quickly glanced up at the mysterious person in front of me. And the only person I've actually met so far won't listen to what I'm saying. Wait a second. All the weirdness started happening after I met this person. He might be the mastermind behind all this. I was suddenly overcome with dread, forcing me to eat that bread and shrinking me with it. What is he trying to do? Nothing good can come of this, not if I'm with him. I need to run away. Quietly, I turned around. Where are you going, Alice? I almost screamed but managed to catch myself. Despite facing the opposite direction, he was still very perceptive. I'm not going anywhere. Can I turn around now? No, not yet. Is that so? That was all the Cheshire Cat said before falling silent again. It seems he's really going to honor my request and look away until I say otherwise. He's surprisingly obedient. No, I can't let him fool me. I started to distance myself from the Cheshire Cat, taking care to hide the sound of my footsteps. I couldn't walk too fast because the scarf felt like it would slip off. Where are you going, Alice? Though he was still facing away from me, the Cheshire Cat repeated his previous question. I'm not going anywhere. I could feel my voice wavering as I answered him. Does he have eyes in the back of his head? Can I turn around now? No, you can't. You definitely can't. Is that so? He is so strange. I couldn't be anywhere near him. I picked up my scarf and ran quietly so not to make a sound. I didn't think to run to a specific place. I just need to get away from here and lose this person. Just when I started to feel out of breath, I saw a door. That's the tiny door from before. At this time, it looked only slightly smaller than a normal-sized door. That's right, now that I'm this size, I can go through it. If I can remember correctly, there is a staircase past that door. If I go down it, I'm sure I can get outside. Where are you going, Alice? I tripped on the hem of the scarf and fell down. I turned around in a panic and saw the Cheshire Cat still facing the opposite direction. I didn't even hear his footsteps or sense his presence. What? Can I turn around now? He's strange. This person is definitely strange. I told him not to turn around until I say so. What kind of person takes that request so literally? Alice, is it okay now? No. I'll be stubborn too, if that's what it takes. Is that so? Of course the Cheshire Cat did not object one way or another. He simply nodded. I started to walk again, backwards this time so I could watch him. He just slid after me while he faced the opposite direction. Oh my god. He must have eyes in the back of his head. I wonder if he's some kind of monster. Please stop following me. Why? Because whenever you're around, bad things happen. But Alice, I told you to stop following me. As you wish, our Alice. With these words, the Cheshire Cat stopped walking. I seized that opportunity to run as fast as I could toward the small door. This door is tiny. I'm sure he won't be able to fit through. I bolted through the door. Oh my god, this is where things start getting weird. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!